We are moving into our 5th match of the day here at WCS Winter for the European group. My name is Dragon. I am joined by Nathanius, and we are scouting out some new war chest skins now.
That's right.
Nathanius.
That's right.
What war chest skin could I potentially be referring to?
Maybe one that got buffed recently. One that people use to do proxies and kill people.
I already know that you're a Terran. If no one knew that Nate was a Terran player, that makes it very obvious. But of course, yes, we were talking about the robotics facility. This is the best way to really strike fear into your opponent. If you're going to proxy a robotics facility, you want it to look deep and dark like this, like you're some sort of Sith Lord.
It looks like
evil immortals.
If you look at the robotics facility, like the model of it, there's that open space in the middle. I mean, you could have a heavy metal death concert, whatever you would do for, since the stage is dark, of course, we have to line up with that, you know what I mean?
I just imagine Immortal actually doing the dance animation in the center of that.
The Immortal has a Gangnam Style dance, which is not, I don't think that's appropriate for the Forged robotics facility. You need the regular robotics facility for that one.
Wouldn't it be cool if every skin had a different dance?
Yes, it would actually. Yes, it would. It would be about 10 times more work for the people.
That would be a lot of work. Is like you can make a custom animation for all of these.
Yeah. I mean, if you get like the mercenary Marines or whatever, like the Mirahan ones should just have. They should use their spikes. All the units.
What dance would they use
when they dance? I don't know. All the units have blades on them, like medevacs and battle cruisers. I want to see the dance involve those somehow if we can. That's very important to me.
Our producer's saying the lawnmower, which I suppose also has blades. Technically, a lawnmower has blades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair, a lawnmower uses its blades.
That is true. Okay, guys.
I can't fly 6 medevacs with those blades into a cloud of mutalisks and cut them all up. It's not immersive enough for me.
Well, if the Ultras could just also run into the Marines and not have to stop to attack, I think that would be
that's
fair.
true. There's so many spikes on them. They could just run through. That's a good point.
Well, of course, guys, we're moving into that decider match. It's going to be another PVZ, a rematch, I believe, from our second series of the day, which was a fun one. We ended up seeing that go 2-1, and we'll see what the score is going to be in this best of 3 as we move into Kairos Junction for map number 1. Top of the blue Protoss player, he is Hellraiser.
And the game is paused. That's a good shot, Ravi. We're probably going to make you...
Why is my SC2 overlay green?
What?
I thought we only green screened our background. I didn't realize we also accidentally green screened
the entire city of Los Angeles is behind us, Fear Dragon.
Oh yeah, the window right there.
Yeah,
right?
We're on the 100th floor of that tower on the hill.
That's why those lights right over there are actually, they're not a consistent flow of headlights. It's
this
gradually stuttering.
It's right in that spot.
The frame rates of the cars in the real life background of this window.
Activated a new overlay, the mechanic one. I don't want that. he changed his interface before the game started on accident. I don't get it. Okay.
Well, he wanted to have that special overlay where if your APM goes really high, it'll say Cyril. Is that only the Zerg one?
I don't know. The problem seems to be that he accidentally changed his interface. So
how does one accidentally change?
I don't know. You have to go.
I accidentally clicked collections.
You have to go
went
to collections and you
consoles,
have to go to consoles.
Then clicked a different console. Then hit equip.
Yeah, it defaults to Terran as well. So he clicked on the Zerg button and then changed it. I'm impressed.
Oh.
Anyway, we're gonna remake the game so he can fix the console and then we'll get back into it. But do you have a favorite console that you like to use?
You know, I'm a fan of the remastered consoles. I know that they're a little more they're a little more the old school feel now because we got all these other fresh new consoles, especially with the new war chest skins and packs.
I really like the war chest console that they added.
The war chest console is nice.
I'm a big fan of the color blue. I would generally pick it over green or red.
So
having the Special Forces interface all blue and cool is...
I theme the console that I pick around the builds that I'm doing. So the Forged console, it's dark. It's got that kind of evil vibe going as a lot of the Forged skins and buildings have. So I'll use that when I'm doing my dirty strats and when I'm playing nice.
So you just only use the Forged skins is what you're trying to
say. massing Dark Templar is not an evil strategy, okay?
What?
It's a macro play.
Can we please get the game going? Save me.
We're remaking the lobby, guys. Getting on that. Shout out to Mistax. It's been doing a great job adminning the entirety of WCS Winter so far. It's been great.
Yeah.
Admin work is an underappreciated field.
Yeah.
You mostly get to deal with angry players who are going to ladder games when they're supposed to be playing their matches, rounding them up, arguing with people.
Yeah.
Very thankless job, but very important one.
Yeah, a lot of important people behind the scenes over here helping to put on an awesome show. Our wonderful makeup artist keeping us from looking like our normal selves, which might break the camera into your eyes.
Putting on Sailor Moon during the break so that we can stay entertained.
That is the only way to survive.
That has been quite great.
So we're just getting the lobby. It's going up again at some point, so we're getting there.
Oh, let me actually invite you in.
Okay.
There we go. Got you in.
Nice.
Fighting evil by moonlight, one day at a time.
Yes, exactly that.
Okay. So a recap, I guess, for people who missed the first time these guys faced off against each other. Denver was able to take, I guess, the more straightforward games, able to deflect things like the big charge lot attacks and any kind of all-in attempts. But what he did struggle with was that Golden Armada, which I know you get angry because you're like, no, it's the Death Fleet if you just use the carrier skin and stuff. But dealing with the Hyper Lickim Air Toss army, that was the one game that Denver really struggled with. And Hellraiser didn't opt to try that again in game number 3. Tried to go back to Stargate and Archon drop and stuff. We'll see if he takes some of that, the lessons from that first series forward into this one, or if he's going to try something else entirely. As we start down here in the bottom, or sorry, top left-hand corner of the map, top of the blue Protoss player. He is Hellraiser. Already sending out a very early probe.
That is the earliest of probes, actually. He still has... Okay, he just started the pylon. What on earth is he going to do? His opponent in the southeast, the Red Zerg player. He is Denver.
I'm actually wondering, is he going to go for a 3-gate?
I was waiting for the pause and we'd be like, I accidentally turned on the Nathanius voice pack. My bad, guys. This voice is actually distracting.
We have to go to the end game screen and it's like, suddenly, wait a second, you can see my build order and I have 3 gateways being built.
What? Okay. Well, it's a forge. It's happening.
Oh.
It's a Fear Dragon. I'm no longer the expert. Enlighten me. How does this work? What happens?
So I have seen different variations of this. The variations that I am used to seeing are when you have a map where your natural expansion's on the high ground and has a ramp going down. You can oftentimes see Protoss players going for these kind of wall-offs. The Zerg players, they'll scout their natural sometimes with the Overlord, but it's usually not the position where you'll actually scout right outside the natural, and you'll see walls and stuff. But Denver, seeing a pylon over here, should immediately know, okay, this isn't a pylon doing anything else outside of maybe trying to scare me. The Zealots should be coming out soon. So the idea is Zealots try and buy some space. The Photon Cannon should be coming down. And all he wants to do is at least get up 1 Photon Cannon. And then the Zealots kind of have that backup support versus Queens. And the Photon Cannon can take out the hatchery eventually. Okay. But first cannon gonna have to get canceled. Needs to cancel it.
Yeah, there we go.
Last second.
And now the Zealots are here to protect the other photon cannons so that they can finish. Now is the goal to just contain them on one base and do the robotics bay thing or facility thing? Or
I think
what do people do?
I mean, you do want to do that and you want to get up shield batteries to try and push back your opponent. You can go for the robo. I actually like when people just, if you go for the 2 gateways though, I like just getting up the cyber core and making some stalkers and pushing forward with that. Ooh, Zell's getting surrounded and not getting too many drone kills. Not even getting too many link kills.
Yeah, and that's a lot of links. Is he going to come down and try to just run past? I think, yeah, you want to attack the Protoss base.
So
that forces you to build a pylon and a cannon at home, no?
Yeah, this is what I don't like about trying to go for the proxy pylon as your first pylon and going for the forge on the other side of the map, is that you don't have the usual wall-off you would go for if you were just going for a typical cannon rush. And of course it's necessary if you want to get up the super fast gateways, but this is going to be pretty annoying to deal with. He didn't actually start up the pylon. This is going to be really bad.
Plan to just fight with the probes?
He is not doing enough damage on this side of the map to make it work, and he is going to be losing some workers. The thing about this is that Denver doesn't actually...
Oh, he's
going to recall.
The Zealots.
Denver doesn't actually want to sacrifice these lings in to just get workers. He wants to force the pull-offs. He wants to divert attention, because you have to keep moving these Zealots back and forth if you want to try and defend on the other side of the map. So forcing them to pull off probes, get a couple of pickoffs here and there. Loses all of the lings. Okay, that's not entirely
Wow,
Didn't get any probes either.
Really good there for Hellraiser, being able to clear that out without losing too much of his own. And this is it, the final moment of weakness, right? As the pylons are built behind the cannon now with the shield battery, and it's just a sprint to the robo, right? You don't try to do this with Gateway. I feel like the Warp Prism is what makes this really cool.
Well, the two gate with just stalkers and shield batteries, to be honest, it's easier to do. I do think that maybe it has a lower skill ceiling in terms of what you can get done. Because like you said, the Warp Prism is so strong. You can dodge shots from the roaches from it. You can evade a lot of attacks. You can pull back to the shield batteries much more effectively. But the stalkers, honestly, when they just start, I guess, building up to higher and higher numbers, you keep them alive with the shield batteries, you really can break a Zerg player pretty quickly. And the fact that the second gas geyser for Denver did take a long time to actually come down.
On it either.
Yeah, he's not going to have many Ravagers. Even getting one of his only Ravager eggs on the way, getting canceled. Another Roach gets picked off. The Spinecrawler, sure, it's going to burrow, but the Stalkers are being well microed. He hasn't actually lost any Stalkers. Losing the Zealots obviously sucks, but those are eventually going to die. Keeping the Stalkers alive, that is something you can't lose.
Okay. Shield batteries doing a great job of keeping the Stalkers alive. As you were discussing, the lack of Ravagers really hurts. One Stalker does die as he continues to poke the front. That Queen getting low, and the Spinecrawler getting very low.
Yeah, he wants that Spinecrawler, but takes an extra hit on that weaken up Stalker. Is getting very close to killing off the Queen and the Spine. One more hit. There we go. He's going to be able to kill that. Robotics Facility following this up behind this. So he is going to go into eventual Immortals. This definitely can work. Lair Tech is on the way, and this is one of the ways that Denver can kind of put pressure on Hellraiser, saying, you have to kill me before I get up. Big Lair Tech, whether it be Swarm Host, whether it be... Well, I mean, Swarm Host is better versus Robo units, but yeah, that's going to be it.
GG, Hellraiser. Taking the first map here in our Decider.
Well done. I mean, dirty strategies there. That would have been very appropriate to have the entire Forge set on for, but really, really effectively done.
How about that?
Yeah. That's one of those builds. Well, I say this, but I know that there are many people out there that do those kind of builds every single game and still find success with it, even against the opponents that see it coming, because it is a really scary strategy. It takes a lot of practice to actually deal with. I don't feel comfortable criticizing Denver on like the ways he defended or anything. Like getting the second gas geyser a little bit later, because you're dealing with the Zealots. It's a bit different than the typical cannon rush shenanigans that you face off against. But it was a bit of a tough hold there. There were definitely some things that weren't quite going Denver's way. So I actually wouldn't hate to see it again that much.
Choose him again? Sure.
Yeah. Depending on the map. Depending on the map, of course.
Are you just saying that because you want as much time as possible?
I mean, I do just want more time with this.
Food before we watch the game?
Oh, no. I just enjoy these kind of games, man. Like, let's be real. After the WCS broadcast yesterday, I watched Printf streaming, who was actually hosted by the WCS channel, which is really cool. Yeah, guys, in case you didn't know, WCS channel, or the StarCraft channel, has been hosting other awesome StarCraft streamers. If you guys want to stick around,
lots of great people
after WCS
StarCraft content. Yeah,
indeed.
Printf's a great guy. I mean, he's the dude that keeps a complete spreadsheet where he writes down everything that people do. There's actually a really funny clip I saw. So he was cannon rushing in PvP, and his opponent walled off the natural ramp in year 0 when he got the first probe before the next one got. He's like, no, he just built 5 or 6 pylons at the top of the natural ramp on year 0, and he could not reinforce his cannon rush. He's like,
it's beautiful, man. I love the innovative games and responses that or the situations he gets into.
It's like, what would you rather do? Pull your probes to fight the cannons he's going to build, or just build 6 pylons?
Yeah, but I mean, he's a great example of someone who's been able to, at some points, be the highest ranked Protoss player on the NA ladder, just off of cannon rushing on a non-barcode account.
If that doesn't tell you everything you need to know about the Americas region, I don't know what does.
All right. Well, we also got Grimmy. You know, he's a 6K MMR European Protoss player. Got pretty high. But okay, guys, we're up here in the top left-hand corner of the map, top of the red Zerg player. He is Denver from Infinity Gaming. Already sitting down 0-1. Scary place to be.
Yeah, not fun, especially with the pressure this guy's been bringing to him. In the southeast corner of the map, he is our Blue Protoss player leading 1-0. He is Hellraiser. His first name, is that Bogdan? That's an awesome name. Bog makes me think of swamp, which makes me think of telling you to get out of mine.
Well, we'll see what kind of strategy.
I mean, a bog is a swamp, right?
A bog? I think it's a little bit
similar?
different because the only bog that I can think of besides, actually no, the only bog I can think of is
also
from.
Makes me think of Quagmire, like an actual Quagmire.
From Family Guy.
No, it actually makes me think of that one level from Banjo-Kazooie, but we're going down a rabbit hole now.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say the only bog I can think of is the one from Lord of the Rings. I think that wasn't quite a swamp.
Okay.
Yeah, the one that they went through to get to Mordor.
Yeah. I mean, swamps are like that. There are a lot of swamps where I'm from, so I have seen.
Don't swamps have more trees and stuff though?
Yeah, but I would say that a good amount of the layout seemed close enough. Anyway, as we're literally just waiting for the Cybercore to finish. So
I mean, we're waiting for more than this. We're waiting for the Cybercore to finish and tech to go.
He's gonna make the tech choice when the Cybercore is done.
Yeah.
So otherwise, this is relatively straightforward.
We don't mean to bog down your guys' experience here.
Not trying to pull you guys into a swamp.
That'd be great.
Yeah. No, swamps are tricky.
That sounds like a swamp. That's like a swamp monster thing, right? You get pulled down into the swamp.
Yeah, I had it destroy. I lost an outfit and a shoe once. Yeah.
Oh no, sorry, not Uda. Your story.
Things are coming to the side.
Uda
No. Something interesting is happening.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So I do want to note one thing that we didn't talk about is Denver did go for a pool before hatchery opening, which is pretty unusual in this matchup if you're just going to play a straight-up game. So you make a couple of things, you try and send them across the map, you try and evade the first adept and see if you can get some damage done. And sometimes you can get lucky and kill off that pylon. This game, though, Hellraiser handles this really well.
Yeah, that was a great hold.
Kills every Ling, doesn't let any of them escape.
Stargate's on the way. Oh my goodness, look at this. Denver looks like he's just...
Wow, okay.
He said he's had enough.
Okay,
switching into his second form, Fear Dragon.
The tough part about this, though, is that he lost the initial 4 Lings, so he doesn't have those to help deal with the initial Adepts. Adepts are going to make their way across the map, and now it's this kind of question. Are the Adepts going to move in and spot out that Baneling Nest? It's in the main base. Adepts shade on forward, and Hellraiser has been very defensive with his Adepts. I don't actually think he has let most of these shades finish, and he doesn't let this shade finish. He moves them a bit further in, but he doesn't move them far enough to see the Baneling Nest. And he got a Phoenix, not an Oracle first.
He canceled the reinforcement pylon that he kind of started just in case of that wall as well. So if he's able to get through, then this could be very difficult for him to defend
shield
against.
battery. No shield battery either.
A lot of Lings coming in. He does get the Overlord with that Phoenix. Oh, is he going to spot it?
Oh my God, he's so close.
Okay,
he sees it now, but Oracle immediately starts up. But those Banelings are about to finish. Nate, I actually don't know if he's going to be able to get that Oracle out in time, because if the Banelings come in, if they are able to bust on through,
the Banelings are bringing that swamp sludge to Hellraiser.
Goes the pylon. Oh no, he's just going to get the probes!
He hates to see it.
Okay. Well, the Oracle is still going to get out because he didn't go after the pylon, but more Lings come streaming on in. Focus firing down the Banelings with that Oracle is helpful, but he's not mining right now. Keep that in mind.
Get the Baneling? Whoop. Still the Bane. I'm nervous. Okay, well, he is even on economy.
Oh, Oracle's out of energy. He has another Oracle on the way, but note
I can't believe he didn't get the pylon.
Yeah, I really think that would have been a great way to just shut this down entirely. But now another pylon is starting on up to wall off completely. That's going to make it more difficult, but the Cybernetics core are going to go down soon.
Now the other Oracle is out, and it's going to begin to laser beam down onto those Lings.
That'll be a nice pick.
Getting out of the pylon in the main base. There we go. They have busted their way on through, and Denver may have cheesed himself back into this series. GG!
Well done, Denver. The rebuttal cheese, taking game number 2 and bringing this to a tied-up series. Not bad.
Not bad.
Little bit tough there, because if you have a few, even just a 4 or 5 extra seconds, you get a bit more time on that building up cybernetics core or whatever, so the 2 banelings don't just kill the wall. If that Phoenix had just moved 3 inches further north, you actually see the banelings morphing in.
A little bit earlier.
It's a little tough, but
in a situation like that, every second is so important. Even just a few seconds notice on that, maybe that cybernetics core has an extra 50 or 60 health, can survive 1 more baneling, and then everything changes.
Or you will go Oracle first that game instead of Phoenix first, as a lot of Protoss players.
That's why a lot of Protoss players go Oracle first. If you'd gone
Yeah.
Oracle first and he runs up there, he probably kills half the banelings before they even reach the wall.
Yeah, exactly. It's a little bit unfortunate, but it was just the way that things sort of play out. It was a good read there from Denver to go for it on that.
Does that make it an extremely good play if Denver's been paying attention? Because he's actually gone Phoenix before Oracle every game.
I think there's a bunch of small things that I think Denver's probably picked up on. The fact that I was talking about the Adept Shades also being a lot more defensive. There's some Protoss players out there that still like to be aggressive and basically sack those Adepts in to try and get in the main base and kill off a few workers, but get scouting information. I know Neeb is one of those players. It's still, I would say, is about 40% of the time he'll let the Adept Shades finish. 60% of the time he just pulls them back. But those 40% of the time, it makes it feel for a Zerg player like, I don't know if I'll actually get away with this completely undetected. And if I go for this, I'm investing a lot into it. It's not something I can easily transition out of.
Yeah.
So, good identification, like you said, or I guess you were talking about, with Denver reading all these small little things, saying this is the perfect storm for me to be able to do this. But we're going to move into game number 3. Map is going to be Port Alexander. So far, just 2 cheeses in this series, which is...
This is a bigger map, though, right?
It is a bigger map. I could see a more normal-looking game. What I still want to know, Nate, is that we haven't actually gotten into a situation where Hellraiser has tried to go into that Golden Armada again.
I mean, he might have done it last game, but...
He might have tried last game, that's true. He didn't get far enough. But that also could have just been another Stargate Temple Archives opening, which he has not been able to make work yet.
You know what they say when people bring out the salt and the complaints? It's that nobody is guaranteed a macro game for your Dragon.
That's very true. Well, we're going to be starting down here in the bottom right-hand corner of the map. Placing this pylon in his main base, it is Hellraiser.
He's facing off against our Blue Zerg player in the northwest. He's Denver. Yeah, Spectreman's Swamp Story. It's actually related to StarCraft. Oh my goodness, he is going to cannon rush him.
Yeah, I'll say he placed his pylon in the main base. Usually if you're going to go for like the expansion and stuff, you're going to go for...
I thought we were watching Naniwa play in DreamHack Winter 2014 or something.
There you go, man. Overlord is in the natural, but it is going to be too late. This is a 3 pylon wall off if you get a pylon over here and here.
You can do with 3 pylons here?
I believe so. There it is.
Oh my god.
All of my years of cannon rushing have finally paid off, Nate, in this series right here. Now, the nice thing is you can go for the... Oh, okay. I thought you go for the...
See, if I ever... This is why I don't play Zerg.
Oh, I see.
I would play against this once.
This is actually great.
Never play another game of Zerg ever again.
So here's what's really clever is that if... I think this drone is blocking it. But if you are really close, you can actually squeeze that probe out by building a simulator if it gets stuck. But Photon Cannon getting worked away by 2 drones, that's not enough. You need 3 drones to actually kill the cannon before it gets up. He's going to even start up another cannon in clear range of that hatchery. But this Photon Cannon finishes up. Doesn't quite kill any drones just yet.
Yeah, because the cannon needs 3 hits if you don't have the probe tase them once.
Very, very important. But this Photon Cannon should be the one that secures the kill on the hatchery. The gateway is there as well. He builds a second cannon because sometimes Zerg players can pull a bunch of lings and also get the queens out and try and force the issue. But now this cannon also covers the pylons to make sure the queens can't just pick away at those or a roach or something. And this is going to be a big investment here. He only got 1 gas, though. So I believe this is going to be the Stalker Shield Battery version once again, not the Fast Robo.
Okay. Okay. Well, definitely struggled. Denver did against something similar, not quite the same, in the first map of this series. Because of the pylon in the main, though, it should be a lot easier for Hellraiser to defend against any counterattack.
Yeah, this is the way. This is not the way that a lot of the cannon rushers like to wall up, but I know a lot of pro gamers prefer this one, where the pylon's further back and then the cannons at the front door. I know a lot of cannon rushers that do it every game prefer the pylon as a part of the wall, just because it has more hit points. But either way, it's going to be a full wall there, so those lings are not going to get anything done. And what's also kind of annoying is that it's pretty hard to sneak out a drone or anything at this point either. So taking a proxy after something difficult. But it's just
now would be
fast lair.
Now would be the time. The cannons are not in range of that area where the lings are running by, but
yeah, it's kind of tough because the Protoss player will see it, and that drone will get out with 1 hit point left over, so the pro could potentially kill it. And now there's a stalker out. But here, I think that with no Roach Warren coming down and just a fast lair, it is likely going to be the Nidus Worm play. Nidus Worms did get a buff. There's an Overlord in position and moving even closer into position. But it's not always a guarantee. The Protoss player can still actually make this work. As long as you're able to see the Nidus Worms coming, you can mine 400 minerals, you can try and plant out another Nexus on the other side of the map, or you could just try and kill your opponent before the lings actually do enough damage.
Alright, the Nidus is on the way. Baneling Nest too. So perhaps the Baneling Nest we're going to see. I think one of my favorite things I've ever seen in StarCraft is when they put the Banelings into the Nidus first, and then you get the probes that try to surround it and pick it off, and then they don't pick it off.
He's reading this like a book.
Just kill everything.
Yeah.
Is it enough 2 stalkers though?
2 stalkers is probably not enough entirely on their own. The probes only do 1 damage, so it doesn't do a lot. But remember that he is going to be able to pick away. These stalkers still do a good amount of damage. I think with the probe pull, even if they do 1 damage, it is a bit more added DPS.
Yeah, it looks like
should be able to kill it.
Be able to kill it before it finishes.
There you go. And that is some lost resources.
Can we get it up to 10 armor next?
The Stalker being fully surrounded by the Lings. This is actually wasting a lot of shield battery energy because the Stalker isn't killing many Lings while it's doing all this. The Immortal is going to help out now, but a second Stalker is going to end up falling in. These shield batteries, the frontline shield batteries are the most important ones because those are the ones that are going to be healing up the Immortal. The Immortal doesn't actually have anything helping it out. It is going to get picked.
Batteries were completely drained.
It's barely getting some regenerated energy from the shield batteries, but another one finishes up much further back. The pylon's going to get depowered.
Ouch.
Photon cannons are still there, and this Stalker should survive. And these are expensive trades. This is the reason why you don't see a lot of Zerg players go for Baneling Bus to break out, because you use so much gas trying to actually bust down all the Photon cannons or pylons that Denver is actually still in a really bad spot now.
Yeah, not really anything he can do. He's going to start another Nidus Worm, and he has an infestation pit on the way in his main base, but...
Swarm, if you can get up to a good number of Swarm hosts, it is insanely difficult for a cannon rushing Protoss player to deal with. I've talked with players like Printf, and he says, well, if you're in that spot, then you basically just try and transition out into an extra base and play a very roundabout game, or you try and get up a large number of Colossus, but it's...
He's just building 1 Swarm host and 8 Lings.
Yeah. It is kind of a dream right now for Denver to be able to get up to that point, and I don't think that dream is going to be realized anytime soon. Second Immortal on its way out. He's not even worrying about the Warp Prism for right now, and with extra just heavy firepower, he only has to worry about Lings and eventually that Swarm host. This is a really, really strong way to play.
Yep. So he's just going to try to trickle out Swarm hosts, use them to wear down the defense. But now the robotics facility with the prism, like,
yep.
Now you can just...
And that's the scariest thing, right? Is that if the Swarmos immediately unleash their payload, sure, they might be able to get a kill on a Stalker or 2, but the Immortals just pick up. They'll just run back. The point of the Swarmos and why it's scary is that they can chip away at the shield batteries or photon cannons or pylons, and there's nothing you can do. Oh man, the Swarmos also unleashed their payload so early on. They actually lose a lot of lifespan just flying over.
Yep. Nah, this is... Oh, goodness.
Yeah, this is a nearly unwinnable situation for Denver.
Nearly? What's the 1% chance that he wins this?
That
attacks his own units?
Well, that the Lings get a full surround, the Warp Prism doesn't pick up the Immortals, and the Swarm hosts get their shots off and kill the rest of the army.
Okay. And the drones get +5 attack co-op for no reason.
Yeah, you know, well, I mean, the Nidus Worm got +5 armor, so I don't see why +5 attack wouldn't make sense, right?
Okay. That's good to me. There's the big push. All right, he's got us surround-ish, but he picked up the Immortal.
And he just killed almost every single drone, because 9 drones killed but there were only
6 drones. He just got backhanded back into Heart of the Swarm.
Yep.
Swarm host and 6 drones in his main.
And there's still even 2 Stalkers on the other side of the map, still ready for any Night Storms. Not that Denver can afford a Night Storm right now. He's not even mining gas anymore. And it is well done. In Control was saying this before, but Hellraiser, a very tough opponent, and Denver put up a fight, but the dirty cannon rush builds really caught Denver off guard. He got punished for it.
Great job.
GG.
Completes the comeback in the Decider match, and Hellraiser will make it out of this group despite having to play out from that lower match earlier. Great job.
Yeah, really well done. Hellraiser had a bit of a upswing last year where he was able to beat Showtime and Challenger, but in the actual offline events wasn't really able to turn that into a big result. And now here at WCS Winter, already starting off the year strong, moving into 2019 with a win, making it to Group Stage 2. If he can carry this on forward, that would really build up a lot of momentum for the rest of the year.
Indeed it would. It's a really sick result for him. Great games. I loved the heart that he showed in some of his builds, and bringing out the extreme aggression versus Denver seemed to work very well.
Yeah, I think Denver maybe not as experienced with the different variety of those kind of cannon rushes and those aggressive moves there, because some of the things that he was doing, at least from what I usually see, like the Baneling bust, I'm personally just not a huge fan of, like going for the bust on the cannons, the Banelings, just because it's so committed, it's so all or nothing. You either make it work or you just die right there. So it's a bit tough, but Denver's still showing some great, strong play. We'll hopefully see more of him later on during the year, because I think he's still a very good player.
Yeah, well, he's not going anywhere. These are the results for Group D. Congratulations to Lambo and Hellraiser for making it out.
Great display. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, that does mean that Europe is now done.
That's right.
But that means America.
Break out your bald eagles and your, well, it's America's. So
your drop bears,
your didgeridoos, and
your Chinese dragons, and
yes, and
all the other things for all the other America's regions. Because we got America's coming up for WCS Winter in a little bit's time. Please don't go anywhere. We'll be back